Hello everyone, Namaste. I'm Kruti Kadakia and today I'm going to talk about books. Yes, we all know, and I'm sure as a parent or as a mother, you would agree that the best way to create awareness or to introduce something, we always use or try to introduce it with a story. Yeah, the child understands better only when you talk to the child in a form of a story, or maybe when you talk, having a book in your hand, right? So here I'm going to talk about a very the very what you say the best book that I have come across is a book called Catch That Cat by Tulika Publications and written by Tarini Vishwanath. Yeah, so when you talk about this book, you know I introduced this book to my daughter saying that in this book the main character of this book does not walk, does not even run. In fact, she zooms around wherever she wants to go. Yes, this book is about a child who is a special child, okay, who is on a wheelchair. Yeah. Generally, we always show our, kids books, about fairy tales or a, normal child, okay, this child was there and, he had this problem and, how he overcame this thing. But this is a special book and it introduces the concept of a special child, which is the need of an hour. Yeah, because whenever you take your child out somewhere and if he sees, another child on a wheelchair, your child should have that empathy, as I know you would want to develop that empathy, you know for the other children over there. It also gives a sense of, to the child that yes, there are other children also who have so many issues, and also making the child understand it on a, when the child is very young, it brings a lot of awareness, and the child is also very sympathetic and very kind if ever he comes across a special child, out there. So in this book there is this little girl. Her name is you know it's a very good book. So it's by Tulika Publications and her name is Dip Dip. Okay, so in this book it's all about this little girl who has, her name is Dip Dip. Now what I like about this book is that the child over here is not white. Okay, if you see, many books have characters or the children that they are very fair, with those blue eyes and, perfect hair and a perfect body. But this book has a child which is brown in color. Okay. This child is never perfect. Okay. This child is always shabby, doesn't complete her work, doesn't do anything. So this helps our kids, to understand that how, and it's more relatable, I would say, that how a special child is also, like this, just like me, who is very shabby, who doesn't like to brush teeth, who doesn't like to go for a bath, and then in this book they show that this child doesn't study. Okay, this child does not study. So it's a very normal thing. Even I don't like to study at times. Even this child does not like to study at times, right? So here, and also this says that the child has a special chair, okay, where she sits, and then wherever the child wants to go, she just zooms off, in her wheelchair. Okay. So when you talk about or introduce the concept of wheelchair to a child, he would definitely ask, na, that why is this girl not able to walk? I am able to walk. So it's a very good way to tell the child, that some children are not, are special, and they are not born with everything, So there could be some issue with this child. That is why the child doesn't have legs. But see, still she's going to school, still she's doing her work, and the story beautifully takes you ahead as it in the story covers like that, that how this child is a very helpful child. Okay, she is the most, what you say, the naughtiest child, though she's on a wheelchair, but she's very naughty, and she deals with everyone very friendly. and she's very kind to everybody, you know. So, and if you go ahead in this book, you would see that the characters in this book wear a sari. Okay, they wear a sari, they have a jura behind, and they are dark in color, which is our Indian culture, you know. I always believe that show children books, you know, which are relatable. Okay, if there are fairies, you know, and you know, characters having blonde hair, you know, the children somewhere are not able to relate with that character. So this book has all the perfect characters for our Indian children and for us also. So this story, basically the story is all about a little girl who always sits on a wheelchair and is a very helpful girl. Okay, she bunks her school and she runs behind a little cat, you know, who had got lost. And how she is, this child is very, you know, sympathetic and you know very much you know helpful in nature. Okay, so here we teach, you know, very nice. Concepts or values, I would say, you know, to the children. So here we teach the child that not every kid is normal. There are some kids who are on wheelchair. There are some kids who are not born, you know, with all the ideas and with all the mind, you know, that you want. There are some kids who don't talk well, who don't know how to talk. There are some kids who cannot hear. So you introduce the concepts like this. Okay. Then when you go further, you can also introduce that these children are as normal as you and me are. Just because they cannot walk, it doesn't mean that you know you cannot have friends with them or you cannot make friends with them. They are very normal human beings. Okay. Thirdly, in this book, it's all about, you know, how a special child, you know, who's on a wheelchair is very, you know, very enthusiastic. Okay, number one, this child is someone who is always ready to help some other people. कितनी प्रॉब्लम्स आती है ये बुक में देखोगे आप तो there are so many problems and hurdles that come in this child's, you know, way when she is actually alone struggling and trying to save that cat, you know. She struggles to go on her wheelchair, you know, she struggles everywhere, but still she knows where she wants to go. And the child has, I want to save, you know, that little cat, is amazing. So when you introduce such books to your children, they also learn that I, you know, being healthy, eating all healthy things, I have my legs, my hands, my mind working perfectly. Even I can, you know, do something like this. If this girl can do, if this character in this book with a wheelchair can do, you know, so many things, can come over obstacles in life, even I can. Yes. So I believe introducing such books, you know, sensitive topics, and in a such a creative way, you know, it's only a book who can help us do that. And also a sense of, you know, belonging, a sense of sympathy, we also instill in the child. So the whole idea about this book is that you must introduce this to your child. It is a Tulika Publications book, and it's a very nominal price of 175 rupees, and the pictures are very big. You know, the pictures are very big. The characters are relatable, right? The characters are relatable. It's very funny, and the whole idea that a child with a wheelchair, if she can accomplish something so difficult, yeah, why can't I? Yeah. So next time when a child sees some other child on a wheelchair, you know, your child will definitely be more calm and more accept, you know, he will be more, you know, what you say, he will accept the child, and will be more sympathetic to this child. So this is how it is. So I hope you buy this book or borrow this book from somewhere and definitely read this to your child. He's going to enjoy this, and it's one of the best books that I have come across. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon next time.